Hello, seekers of truth, knowledge, and spiritual snack food. Welcome back to the Adventure Box Podcast, the podcast where we roll back the scrolls of time, sip some metaphorical soma, the very psychedelic drink that they had back in India, and dive headfirst into ancient wisdom. I am your host, Zach Edwards, and today we are heading into one of the most mind-expanding, soul-searching, and yes, even cow-respecting regions of the ancient world. This is ancient India. We're talking about three things today. Hindu philosophy, which includes like karma, dharma, moksha, and some truly cosmic deities. The second thing is we will be talking about Buddha, the journey of a prince who gave up everything, including his palace bathrobes, for enlightenment. Then we will go into the third thing, which is Jainism, a radical commitment to truth, non-violence, and not accidentally stepping on an ant. You think I'm joking? We'll go more into that. So, take a deep breath. Meditate a little. Clear your mind and put your sandals on airplane mode, right? It's time to have this great journey through India's spiritual awakening. Okay, here we go. First off, Hindu philosophy. Cosmic ideas and divine beings. This is what it's all about. Let's start with the spiritual foundation of ancient India, which is Hinduism, one of the world's oldest living religions. And don't worry, we'll break this down without needing 1,000 arms or a fire altar. Yeah, you'll get to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so first off, their first deity. This is Dharma. Oh, sorry, not deity. This is the beliefs. Core beliefs, dharma, your duty, your role, your cosmic job description, basically. Whether you're a king or a farmer or a village potter, do your part and do it well. That's what dharma is. Now, karma, you may have heard it before. Not instant punishment, basically. For cutting someone off in traffic, karma is the sum of your actions, good or bad, and how they affect your next life. When you do good, you get good results. When you do bad, you have bad results in the next life. Now, there's something called samsara. Samsara is the cycle of rebirth, basically like reincarnation. Life, death, rebirth, and do it again. Think of it as life's eternal group project. You just keep doing it until you finally hit what's called moksha. Now, moksha is freedom from the cycle. No more reincarnating. Birth, death, into the ground, reincarnation, and around in the cycle. But moksha is when you come and die and you become so enlightened, big spiritual, you win, the soul's final escape into eternal unity with the divine. I don't know what that actually means. Does that mean that you go live with the divine, or does that mean you actually become part of divine? If it's part of divine, you have no recollection of who you are anymore? I don't know if I want that. I don't know. Not me to say about someone else's religion. I will be completely respectful to everyone's religion, but I don't know if I could do that, or I could believe that. This doesn't seem like there's basically there's no life after death. You die, and no more life if you got to moksha. If you have just samsara, you'd be going around in reincarnation and dying and birth and death and reincarnation, birth and death and reincarnation. It's just ending cycle, no ending cycle. Then you hit moksha, it's like, okay, you gone. You get to be unified in the cosmos with no distinct understanding afterwards. So it's almost like there is no afterlife because you are gone unless you're like this little piece of intelligence floating around this river. I don't know. This is for you to find out if you're interested. At the same time, there's something called the Upanishad. The Upanishads, around 800 to 500 BC, these spiritual texts took a deeper dive into big questions. Who am I? What is the self? Is the cow sacred? Spoiler, yes, the cow is sacred. Spoiler alert, sorry. The Upanishad introduced concepts like Atman, the soul, and Brahman, the ultimate reality. These were the cosmic cliff notes for seekers looking for enlightenment without having to burn 108 offerings first. Yep. What about deity? Okay, Vishnu, it's the preserver, the protector, and all-around divine multitasker. Shows up in avatars like Rama, Krishna, and many more when things go sideways. Then the next one is Shiva, the destroyer and transformer. Chills on Mount Kailash, dances the Tandava, and wearing snakes like fashion accessories. That is Shiva. On Wednesday, we will talk about the art. You'll see pictures of Shiva and dancing with snakes type of thing, okay? Now, then there's Devi. Devi is a great goddess with forms like Durga, which is warrior mode, and Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, much money, much power. Basically, the multi-tool of the divine. That's Devi. Now, Hinduism says life is sacred, complex, and part of a divine whole, like a cosmic Netflix series where you keep coming back as a new character each season. Now, that's Hinduism in India. Now, Buddhism. I love talking about Buddhism because you got Mr. Buddha, who, okay, let me go back. Let me talk a little bit about it first, and then we'll get to Buddha. Okay, let's talk about a young prince who had like everything. He had a palace, he had gold, he had robes, he had family, he had a wife, he had children, and he said, you know what? One day, I'm done. I will go for enlightenment. And he walked away from it all, including his kids and his wife. I don't know if I could do that. No. It's not about attachments. It's also about responsibility. And I don't think I could do that. But he wanted to become one of the most peaceful revolutionaries in all of history. So his name was Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, born around 563 BC in what is now Nepal. Now I have maps. Let me show you a map. I like showing maps. Okay, Nepal. Nepal is right here. So if Nepal is right there, India is down below. But at this point, they're all one. So India, Pakistan, all these are one country, one group, one area. Now, he might have been born in 563 BC, raised in a luxurious palace, shielded from pain, sickness, and bad hair days. The story is, one day he escapes from the palace. His father wanted to keep him locked up so he would not experience pain or sickness or death. Well, he went out into the streets and he saw pain and sickness and death. And he couldn't understand it. Mind blown. And so he said, I do not like this. I need to know why. Why does this happen? And I cannot get it from the palace. I must leave the palace. One day, he saw the suffering, and it broke him. So he left his life of luxury, tried extreme asceticism. Asceticism, what's that? Honestly, it's just too much fasting. That's what asceticism is. It means a removal of all comforts. And then he meditated under a Bodhi tree until he achieved enlightenment. It means he understood the universe. Well, funny it is that someone could sit under a tree and think and think and think and think, I know everything that there is about everything, the cosmos. The problem, you may think, is, could he just know that because that's what he wants to think? Or could he know that because it's just what he believes? Again, not knocking anyone's religion. Total respect. But it's a hard thing for me to swallow, which is why I bring it up. Now, he did believe in 4 noble truths. 1, life is full of suffering. Okay, yes, it is. Good truth, good truth. Yes, I can agree with that. Number 2, suffering is caused by desire. I desire comfort, and so when I don't get it, I suffer? I guess that's true. I don't want my toe to be broken, so it's a desire for me not to feel broken toe? That could be it. Okay, in that case, yes, I believe that too. Somewhat. It's back and forth. I don't know. Then, ending desire ends suffering. So if I desire nothing, I don't want any comfort, I don't want anything from anyone, that would end my suffering? It doesn't end my death. It doesn't end the pain that comes before the death. If I meditate in one place, I will never break my toe because I'll never move from that place. I do understand that one. I agree with that one. If I don't move, I will not suffer. I might suffer hunger, though. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, how about that one? Hunger. Ending desire ends suffering. If I can end my desire for food, I wouldn't suffer. Okay, so that's true. Okay. 4th, you can achieve this through the 8-fold path. Okay, what's that? Spoiler, it's not a hiking trail. It includes right speech, right action, right livelihood, and 5 other noble life choices. And it's a recipe for inner peace without needing incense that costs you $19.99. Yes, so if you speak what is right, I can see that. Christians believe in this too. Peace. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be. Blessed are the poor in heart. Blessed are the, and basically, I don't say evil to others. I don't feel suffering. Okay, if I don't say bad things to other people for that one thing, I don't have suffering. I don't have a mental suffering of feeling bad. That's true. Okay, how about right actions? Okay, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Okay, so right actions. I do what's right. I don't have suffering. If I make wise choices, I have less suffering. I guess that's somewhat true too. Okay, right livelihood. If I live the right life, not my actions, but the way I live my life, less suffering or no suffering. Which I don't know about no suffering, but I definitely do know about less suffering. If I make good choices in my life, when the way I live my life, I have less suffering. I have less addictions. I have less pain in the sense of doing wrong things. I get less punishments, such as going to prison. I like this. This is nice. Okay, I can agree with this. I think Muslim and Christian and Jewish and Buddhists and Hinduism, I think everyone can agree with this. Somewhat. There is legalism. Remember, we learned that in China, which basically said everyone is bad, everyone gets punished. So let's not go there. Okay, another thing is they believe in nirvana. No, it's not a brand, it's not a band, it's none of those. In Buddhism, it means total liberation from suffering and rebirth. You reach nirvana and you're off the karma merry-go-round forever. So no more birth, death, reincarnation. Birth, death, reincarnation. Birth, death, and I could go on because it just keeps going on and on. Now, the spread of Buddhism, very important. It was there before Ashoka the Great, but around 300 BC, well, let's just say 3rd century, so 200 to 300 BC, Ashoka the Great made it a national policy and sent missionaries far and wide. Means out of India and into China and into Persia and everywhere it could go. That was Ashoka the Great. He did that. He spread missionaries throughout. It reached Sri Lanka, China, Southeast Asia, Japan even, and beyond. And it inspired art and literature and temples and totally chill monks across Asia. You know those goes. Actually, I don't know if there's humming there, but I do know that they actually meditate for much of the day. So Buddhism started with one man sitting under a tree and ended up chanting the world. Wait a second. I meant to say changing the world, but I guess that somewhat makes sense because chanting is part of Buddhism. Not bad for someone who literally started by saying, "I'm just figuring out, I'm just trying to figure it all out," right? Now, what about Jainism and Mahavira? So this is the peaceful warrior. The peaceful warrior, Jainism. Okay, now let's meet a lesser known but deeply influential path, which is Jainism, and its teacher, Mahavira. Mahavira, he is the 24th Tirthankara, which is like a spiritual leader, living around about the 6th century, so about 600 to 500 BC, about the same time as the Buddha. He was born a prince also, but gave up everything to seek truth and purity. Wait a second, that's like the Buddha. Very similar activities. They both sought for enlightenment and left it all behind, everything else. Now, with Jainism and Mahavira, they took non-violence to a whole new level. Like, step carefully to not squish a bug on the floor. No squishing spiders on the wall. Do not disturb them. We believe in non-violence. Some of the core beliefs in Jainism is ahamsha. Ahamsha. What the? It's called non-violence. Ahamsha. Ahimsha. Misha. Sorry, ahamisha. Ahamisha. Non-violence towards all living beings. Not just don't kill, but don't harm, don't disturb, and don't offend. Don't offend? Really? I can't say something that I think is funny? It might offend someone? Oh no. There goes freedom of speech. Okay, the next one is satya. Always speak the truth. The truth. I can do that. I want to be honest in all that I do. That's what I learned from my parents, to be honest. They don't like when I lie to them. Okay, then there's the asteya. Now, asteya is don't steal. How about aparigraha? Aparigraha is let go of material possessions. You don't need anything. And then there is asceticism. There's that word again. Asceticism means live simply, like really simply. No need for money clothes. No need for much food. Very, very simple. Now, Jain monks renounced everything, everything gone, often wearing white robes, or go nude, go totally butt naked, depending on the sect. Now, I hope I never see that sect. Whew. Blind my eyes. Blind my eyes. Okay. They also, these monks, they sweep the ground in front of them so they don't step on bugs. They take a broom and sweep as they walk forward. That's really extreme. I don't know if I could do that because, truthfully, there are microscopic little bugs. I had a spider climbing on my arm. I could barely see it. It was so small. Do I really? I can't do anything to that. I can't flick him off. That would stink. Actually, that might hurt, depending on the type of spider. So, they also carried what's called mahapati. Muhapati, is mouth covers to avoid accidentally inhaling bugs as well. Whoa, that's a little extreme. Okay, it may sound extreme, but it's all in the name of absolute respect for all life. So, I have a question for full respect for all life. We have two sets of countries attacking each other. We have Russia invading Ukraine. Then we have Iran throwing missiles at Israel, and Israel lobbing missiles at Iran. Now, what happens at this point? Do we let them kill each other? Do they just, does Israel decide we believe in Jainism, non-violence, and then get eradicated by missiles all day long to basically kill off the whole Jewish nation? I don't know if I could live with Jainism. There are some reasons to fight back. You would hope not, but we may not be evil, but others are. And should we just say, well, if I die, I die. I could live with that, but I can't see others living like that. I can't see myself allowing others to live like that. I would want to save them. So I don't know if I could do nonviolence. Jainism seems too extreme for me, but it also inspired vegetarianism. It also inspired nonviolent movements and also philosophical debates. Its temples are architectural masterpieces, though, like the Delwara temples in Rajasthan. Even Mahatma Gandhi drew the Jain ideals of Ahimsa. He liked Ahimsa. No, again, what was Ahimsa? Ahimsa was the, what was it? It was the non-violence towards all living beings. But did Gandhi step on a bug? I'm pretty sure he did. Bugs are everywhere. How do you not? Okay, keep going. Okay, sorry, I digress. If Buddhism is the middle path, Jainism is the hyper-disciplined spiritual obstacle course, but the goal, purity of soul and harmony with all life. Even if someone's trying to kill you, non-violence. Do not fight back. You die. It's okay. You come back again. If you believe in reincarnation. If not, goodbye. Or you go on to the next life. Okay. So, what did we cover today? Why is this so important? Because these are world religions that are important to many people. And again, no disrespect to any other religion out there. What I said was basically how I feel I could do. I could not do nonviolence because I feel I have to stick up for those that are in trouble. Now, do I step in front of the bully and let him pummel me? Yeah, I could do that. I'd be fine doing that. But I could not step forward. I have to step forward and take the whipping instead of the smaller child or such. But let's talk about what are the three religions we talked about. Hinduism taught us that our actions have consequences. Life is a journey, and the gods are watching in an encouraging way, though. Now, second, Buddhism shows us how one man's quest to end suffering sparked a global movement all the way around the world. Buddhists everywhere. And Jainism proves that peace, truth, and humility can shape a society for centuries, which we will talk about because India lived by Jainism for a while. Ancient India wasn't just building cities and trading spices. It was building wisdom, shaping values, and teaching the world how to live better. So, thank you so much for walking this sacred path with me today on the Adventure Box podcast. I am Zach Edwards, your barefoot philosopher, karma conscious comedian, and wannabe monk. I do not want to shave my head as of yet, though. It reminds us that sometimes the most radical things you can do. Maybe it is even sitting under a tree and thinking very deeply. Watch out. Next time, on Wednesday, we will be talking about the art of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, and the difference. So stay tuned for that. And not this week, but next week, we actually get to meet Ashoka the Great. He's the one that, again, spread Buddhism throughout the world. Well, the known world to him. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, stay kind, stay thoughtful, and always keep questing. And I got an action question. If you could live by one of these philosophies, Hinduism, Buddhism, or Jainism, which one would you live by? Please put them in the comments below. Or if you couldn't live by any of them, please put them in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. So please share with us. Email me. I will put it in the video. Email me at zach@historicalconquest.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time, right? Yes. It'll be much fun. Thank you so much for being here. We talk to you later. Bye-bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.